A community rates low on an information scale when the press, radio, and other channels of communication are controlled by only a few people, and when citizens have to accept what they're told. In communities of this kind, despotism stands a good chance. See how a community trains its teachers.
Bear this in mind. Young people cannot be trusted to form their own opinions. This business about open-mindedness is nonsense. It's a waste of time trying to teach students to think for themselves. It's our job to tell them.
And when teachers put such training into practice, despotism stands a good chance. These children are being taught to accept uncritically whatever they're told. Questions are not encouraged.
How can you ask such a question? Have you got a textbook?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it say here that our law courts are always just?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how dare you question the fact? Sit down.
And so we aren't surprised when...
But it must be true. I saw it in this book, right here.
And if books and newspapers and the radio are efficiently controlled, the people will read and accept exactly what the few in control want them to. Government censorship is one form of control. A newspaper which breaks a government censorship rule can be suspended. It is also possible for newspapers and other forms of communication to be controlled by private interests.
What is it? Basically what we're doing is we're getting people to vote by mail, register to vote by mail, to renew it, and then also encouraging them to vote early.
You know that's how they steal elections, is by mail, right?
There's very little evidence of that, sir. However, yeah, find the article and show it to me.
I investigated it in South Carolina and they proved it.
There's some fraud. You're right.
Millions of people, dead people voted.
No.
You sure about that?
No.
Well, I would beg to differ. And I'm only telling you that because I know because I was involved.
It's extremely rare. Are you going to vote? Who do you vote for?
It just depends on who's running. I don't vote for any party. I don't believe in the parties.
You're independent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, I can't agree with you more that our elections should be without fraud.
Right.
And we have a common theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are.
However, some of the facts about how pervasive voting fraud is, I think, is awful.
No, and you could be, but I guess all I'm saying is that I was involved with finding those facts.
Well,
I wasn't watching TV to get them.
How were you involved in those facts finding?
We canvassed all the counties in South Carolina.
Canvass? What do you
Went
mean?
door to door.
You didn't look at the data. You did not look at the data.
No, that we collected data, computer data, science, all of it.
But you did not.
And maybe that didn't happen where you were, but I can tell you for a fact that happened where I was.
Well, who was the fraud for? I mean, was it for a Republican?
It was for the fraud was against the Republicans.
I kind of doubt that in South Carolina.
What if I would have said it was against the Democrats?
Well, I
what
really
if I say
think
that the whole thing was bought and paid for by China?
Well, I'm not into. Are you into QAnon?
Into what?
QAnon?
No, I'm into facts.
Oh, okay, so am I. So, but we have to.
I would.
We have
You
to
do
get,
know that
okay,
Q and anon is completely two different things,
good.
right?
That's good.
So there's Q, which are Q boards, and then there's anons, which are social media, digital army warriors.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying, you know, I was involved in the process of finding out there was fraud. So I didn't let somebody tell me there was or wasn't.
Well, studies have
And
shown
it was all mail-in
that
ballots.
fraud is infinitesimally almost non-existent. You have a great day. Take care.
Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Sorry.
Oh, I hit a head on. So, are you like out here like collecting data or something?
That's it pretty much. I'm not really allowed to speak, so if you want to talk to you can talk to the organizer and she'll let you know. We're just keeping everything safe and keeping everybody peaceful.
I was just wondering, I saw the back.
Thank you. Sure, no worries, okay.
Yep.
Hi, can I ask your name? Gina. Gina? And you're from?
Clearview Media.
Clearview? Okay. And that is for?
Rumble, Telegram. We're
YouTube.
local.
Okay.
Local news.
Thank you.
And who are you?
I am Karen today.
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 Or something, you're
Thanks
something
for
else
reminding
another
me.
day?
Usually, yeah. It depends on the medication.
Ah, that's for sure.
New this morning, the Q persona at the center of the QAnon conspiracy is back. This is after an 18-month absence.
After more than 18 months of silence, the Q account is back.
In the history of 60 Minutes, I'm not sure we've ever reported a story that, for the most part, is pure fantasy. But that's how to best sum up QAnon, an ever-shifting mega conspiracy theory that's bizarre and nonsensical.
Been gone for 18 months, back all of a sudden on Friday after the Supreme Court issued its Roe versus Wade decision.
Yeah, look, this is as dumb as it is dangerous. But QAnon, for folks who haven't been paying attention, is at the center of this is this character called Q, who the believers believe without any evidence that that person is a government insider and has been posting these kind of predictions, and a whole community, a cult has built up around it.
What's your name, sir? My name is Go Fuck Yourself.
It's really too stupid to even show the posts of this Q person.
A blog, a message board in 2017 and 2018, and how fast they have mainstreamed this lie that pedophiles are everywhere you look, in the Democratic Party, in Hollywood, in your schools, in media, like that they're literally just everywhere.
It's important to highlight how totally nutburger the collective conspiracies pushed by this account were.
Millions of people appear to be caught up in the internet-based cult.
On Friday night, after 18 months, hadn't posted since December 2020 after Trump lost the election, which of course QAnon believers don't believe that, began posting uncharacteristically ambiguous postings, stuff like "we're back," but obviously that put everything into a whole frenzy.
Q, whose completely absurd posts, which would be laughably cryptic and are actually never accurate, are at the heart of the QAnon conspiracy movement.
The world ruled by a cabal of Satan-worshipping elites who prey on children and harvest their blood. With Donald Trump our only saviour, ready to defeat the forces of darkness. So is the idea that the rest of us are ignorant if we don't understand it?
Yes, the rest of us are asleep, but the Q people want to wake us up.
Do you at the time believe that high-level Democrats and celebrities were worshiping Satan, drinking the blood of children?
Q specifically mentioned you, and he mentioned you very early on. He mentioned you by name.
At one point heading into the 2020 election, as much as 20% of the American people said they believed in it.
The Q stuff would be funny if it didn't actually have real-world consequences.
And it was a way of gamifying conspiracy theories. And look how many people were sucked into it, particularly during COVID.
We've had the white van freak out where someone takes a picture of a white van and says, "Oh my God, my children."
Some sort of crazy conspiracy theory. Yeah.
We had the satanic panic. We had.
What does it mean that now that the Q account is back up and running?
Yeah, I mean, Anderson, I think like among the kind of polite company here in Washington, D.C. and here in New York City, the conventional wisdom might be to say we should ignore it. It's stupid. It is dumb. It is objectively dumb.
But let's reinforce that this is a completely baseless nutburger conspiracy that still managed to wag the dog of our politics for a point.
There is obviously the crazy QAnon beliefs where it comes to cabals and everything else.
Drinking blood of children, blah,
yes,
blah,
but it's part of just kind of a tapestry, a range of conspiratorial beliefs.
And they go down all these rabbit holes and invent all this stuff, and it becomes this, it's like just this ball rolling that more and more people get in on it and believe that they're part of some sort of investigation that amounts to nothing and is all based on just complete BS.
I think you're right. I think that expansion and just expanding it to everyone is a pedophile that disagrees with you. I want to believe that there's some price to pay for that.
It's a cave. It's a cave of conspiracies.
You know, what are the QAnon people saying? Like,
trust the plan.
A community is built up around this, and it's dangerous.
Some of the worst people on the internet.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
We were supposed to, as mentioned, be watching you on a debate stage right now. We're not doing that, so let's clear up a few things from the last one. You were asked point blank to denounce white supremacy. In the moment, you didn't. You asked some follow-up questions. Who specifically? A couple of days later, on a different show, you denounced white supremacy.
No, you
My
always
question to you is,
you've done this to
why
me and everybody.
Does it seem like
I denounce white supremacy? Okay,
you did 2 days later.
I've denounced white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a question. You didn't ask Joe Biden whether or not he denounces Antifa. I watched him on the same basic show with Lester Holt, and he was asking questions like Biden was a child.
Well, so this is a little bit of a dodge.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Do you feel, it feels sometimes you're hesitant to do so, like you wait a beat.
Here we go again. Every time, in fact, my people came, I'm sure they'll ask you the white supremacy question. I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
And frankly, you want to know something? I denounce Antifa, and I denounce these people on the left that are burning down our cities that are run by Democrats who don't know what they're doing.
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep state.
Study the subject. I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sass said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why
right.
not just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you another thing.
Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy, I denounce it. You start off with something else, let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree with it very strongly.
But there's not a satanic pedophile
cult being run by. I have no idea. I know nothing about that.
Okay.
No, I don't know that.
Just this week.
Neither do you know that.
Okay, just this week
Why are you asking me about Antifa. Why aren't you asking me about the radical left?
Because you're
Why aren't
volunteering
you
it.
asking Joe Biden questions about why doesn't he condemn Antifa? Why does he say it doesn't exist?
Because you're here before me.
No, excuse that's so cute. Antifa exists. They're vicious, they're violent, they kill people, and they're burning down our cities. And they happen to be radical left.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry. Oh, no, hit a head on. So, are you like out here like your dad or something?
That's it pretty much. I'm not really allowed to speak, so if you want to talk to you can talk to the organizer and she'll let you know. We're just keeping everything safe and keeping everybody peaceful.
I was just wondering, I saw the back.
No worries, sure, no worries, okay.
Yep.
Trump supporters had recently started to claim that the president didn't actually say neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, quote, very fine people, even though he did say it.
Why can't this president, who, by the way, called Nazis very fine people...
He believes those Nazis and white supremacists who marched in Charlottesville are very fine people.
From white supremacists and neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, Trump's very fine people.
Saying that neo-Nazis and Klansmen and white supremacists are very fine people.
Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television.
Well, this lie traveled around the world a few times, made its way into the Biden campaign talking points, and ended up on the Senate floor. The Charlottesville lie. Very fine people on both sides, except that isn't all he said. And they knew it then, and they know it now. Watch this.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Robert E. Lee are not the same.
Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Treated unfairly, sir. I'm sorry, I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly? I just didn't understand what you were saying.
No. There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before. If you look, there were people protesting very quietly the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. I'm sure in that group there were some bad ones. The following day it looked like they had some rough, bad people. Neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. But you had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest and very legally protest because, you know, I don't know if you know, they had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit. So I only tell you this, there are two sides to a story. I thought what took place was a horrible moment for our country, a horrible moment. But there are two sides to the country. Does anybody have a final? Does anybody have? You have an infrastructure. What makes you think?
This might be today the first time the news networks played those full remarks in their context.
Sir, I work in commercial radio. I wrote everybody about NPR.
What does this one mean? I'm not sure. Gotcha.
If you notice the real angry people that drive by, they use the best hair product. So you just tell them, yes, queen, look at your hair blowing in the breeze. And they love that. You could just tell on their face.
Gotcha. A lot of people have done that.